requires you as a parent to find the pattern of love. And once you find that, it's magical.
Oh my God, pattern of love. This is amazing, amazing. So you said that each child brings in a different pattern of love, right? Do you think that is innately there in every child, each one of us as children, the pattern, or does the pattern evolve with life and experiences as well?
So my belief, working with 15 children and plus, I would say, is that every one of us as humans have a personality, have filters that we use to process our life, and all of us value love. It's innately in us, but how does that emerge in us is very unique. It's kind of like the lines on our hand. Everyone is uniquely different, but if you could see the pattern, like you could see these, but how can I see how this child is loving me? Some children need hugs. Some children just want freedom. I have a child who just wants to be free. To this day, she still takes solo trips. And I don't want to be with the family. I want to be out on my own. I have other kids who say, Mom, let's go together. And when we walk in the supermarkets, they hold my hand or they'll grab on, and they want that. So every child has their own, and it changes, it emerges, but the fundamentalness of how they love shows up when you look for that. Some children, when I just need looking at them in a certain way, they're like, okay, something's wrong, I will fix it. Other children need to be told again and again and again and again, because when they hear your voice, sometimes it's like, Mom's paying attention to me. And you need to find out, is that a pattern of attention? Is that a pattern of this is how they feel significant? Or is this a pattern of love? And maybe instead of finding attention in naughty ways, you can give them attention and when they do well, whatever they do well, even if they eat a bowl of cereal, they eat an idli, great, fine, because wow, you ate that idli so fast, that is amazing. Oh, thank you. Or you did the dishes without even being told. I like the way you're walking, because when you're wearing that dress, the way you walk really stands out. You just notice something. It could be anything, but they just want to hear you. Other kids would prefer to hear the voices in their head. And so maybe you need to hold space and say, what are you thinking now? And stay silent. So does that make sense?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It takes so much of you, Bimla, as a parent, to try and understand. Now, with 2 kids or 3 kids, it's quite a challenge by itself. Imagine with 15 children going with all of you and 15 plus, you say. So,
Yeah. Well, what I
how
say is,
do I just want to know, how long did you just focus on being a mom to them and understanding each one of them, going on this journey? Because looking back now, from the Vimla who had a magical childhood herself to Dr. V to being a mom of 15 plus children, and randomly the universe chose them for you. How does the pattern seem to you, Vimla?
so it's like this. At any one point in my house, I never had 15. The maximum I've ever had was, I think, 10.
Okay.
10 it's still a
Yeah,
pretty big
it's a
number.
big number.
And I'll add that I was a single parent at the time, which is actually a little bit easier because you don't have the yin and yang of a spouse. It's tough on the kids sometimes, and it was tough on me a lot because I had no support, especially in times when I felt I really needed support. I would say that my own patterns emerged, right? So being aware, first, I would say the first thing is to be aware of yourself. What are your triggers? How do you show love? How do you need love? How do you want to be loved? And all of us have different ways. I am a hugger. I want connection. I want to talk. I want to know about what's happening in someone else's life. Then I know that, okay, there's a connection, there's love that way. But I've learned through making thousands, I would say hundreds of thousands of errors and mistakes, and learning from each one of them. Painful mistakes, alienating myself from my kids at times, not speaking to them not speaking to me. But through it all, it kind of almost had to happen that way for me to learn And for me to say, okay, what can I do? And this is where I thought the universe brought me to coaching, to allow me to grow, to allow me to get that awareness and ask these really powerful questions to myself first. And then as I saw myself and I started saying, how have I been doing this? And we've been doing this for 10 years. Where have I done it really well? And where do I need to grow more? And a lot of times it was I needed to connect to my children really, really at their level, and more along the line of understanding them,